Now on 12, the NYPD's controversial stop and frisk policy makes its way to the Attorney General's office and the steps of City Hall. We'll tell you about lawmakers' new plan. And it only comes along every 4 years, but today is the day. We'll tell you how some Bronxites are spending Leap Day. The news starts right now.
As local news gets, News 12, the Bronx.
And thanks for joining us. I'm Matt Piper. Stop and frisk continues to be a controversial topic here in our borough. Today, Bronxites joined politicians from across the state for a rally at City Hall. Our Jessica Formoso tells us why they're calling on the City Council to pass legislation ending stop and frisk.
The police department is terrorizing communities of color in the city. They're the terrorists.
Jane Rice claims to be a victim of stop and frisk and took to the steps of City Hall Wednesday to speak out against NYPD's controversial stop and frisk policies that he says results in racial profiling. Rice says that people of color and the youth are unfairly targets.
Youth coming and saying that they're afraid to even go in the street for recreation or socialization.
In 2011, the New York Police Department made more than 684,000 street stops, according to the Communities for Police Reform. That's a 14% increase from 2010. Bronx Councilman Fernando Cabrera says that a solution to this would be to have a comprehensive gang prevention program that would teach the youth early on.
Serious about this issue, we need to have a good program that is going to address the real needs of these young people.
On Tuesday, Bronx Congressman Jose Serrano questioned Attorney General Eric Holder in Washington about how people are being stopped without a reason.
I think 18 is the number now of police departments who have engaged in practices that are inconsistent with the way in which they're supposed to serve the people.
We spoke with Serrano on Skype.
That he's heard about it, that he knows about it, that he's been getting complaints.
A lot of complaints, but not enough to get an investigation into the NYPD going. From the newsroom, Jessica Formoso, News 12, the Bronx.
The controversy over stop and frisk is the topic of our question of the day. We want to know if you think the federal government should get involved. Yes, no, or fire Ray Kelly. You can weigh in on our website, news12.com, or by turning to IOTV channel 612. Turning now to our weather on the twos. Daryl Green is in the Weather Center. Daryl, not a very nice day today, huh?
No, a very wet, very messy day.
Yeah.
And if you were up in areas of the lower Hudson Valley, well towards the north, you might even see some winter-type precip. Not our issue out there for today. We've got the first round of wet weather out of here. We've got another round of some wet weather that will be with us as we go through the remainder of your Wednesday until Wednesday night. Not a whole lot happening right now. Once again, things drying out just a little bit. We'll just call it a break in the action. So if you're going to be out and about, not any real problems out there. You might be dodging a few raindrops. Watch out for puddling on area roadways and give plenty of room in between cars. 41 and 42 degrees out there. We're looking at winds anywhere from calm to as much as 17 miles per hour. Something you're going to have to keep in mind. We'll keep the showers in the forecast. 35 to 40 for the night. In the overnight hours, you're going to need to watch out for some patchy areas of fog. We'll take a look at your 7-day forecast a little later in this half hour. Matt, back to you.
Daryl, thanks. A family is asking for your help finding the people who put their loved one in the hospital. Manny Amadio says his dad, Gilbert, was shot multiple times while walking with his pregnant wife along East 184th Street and Hoffman Street Monday night. Amadio told his son that several men got out of a livery cab, shot him, then got back in the cab and took off. Amadio's mother says she has no idea why this happened.
I'm happy that he's good, he's stable. None of the shot that they did on him hurt his inside. All his inside is perfectly fine, you know. And I don't know why they did that to him because he don't bother nobody.
Police say they're investigating the shooting. They're also on the hunt for this man who they say robbed a liquor store on 2 occasions. The clerk at the store on Riverdale Avenue claims he recognized the man from the previous robbery and confronted him. That's when a struggle ensued where the worker suffered minor injuries and was robbed yet again. The suspect, described as a 17 to 21-year-old black male. If you have any information on either of these incidents, you can call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-577-TIPS. And remember that all calls are kept confidential. Federal prosecutors say they've busted a $279 million auto insurance scam based here in New York City. They're charging 36 defendants in the largest ever no-fault fraud bust, including 2 doctors in the Bronx. Investigators say the schemers robbed private insurance companies of more than they needed by relying on corrupt doctors. Court documents say those doctors would bill insurers for unnecessary and excessive treatments to people involved in car accidents. Those busted include Dr. Eva Gateva and Dr. Zuhair Said, who live in the Bronx. Both face up to 30 years in prison if convicted. A livery cab driver is dead after he had a heart attack behind the wheel. The accident happened around 2 a.m. in Norwood. Gun Hill TLC tells us the driver, 51-year-old Kwame Atwi, was on his way to pick up a customer. That's when he had a heart attack on Jerome Avenue and East Gun Hill Road and crashed into a streetlight. He was taken to Montefiore Medical Center where he was pronounced dead. It is not clear whether the driver died before or after the accident. Well, it took almost 4 years, but the Westchester Square bid is finally a go. The City Council voted unanimously in favor of the new Business Improvement District this afternoon. The bid will have a full-time staff to support the Westchester Square business community, which serves as one of the Bronx's busiest transportation hubs. It comes complete with sanitation and security services, special events, and business development. Latino City Council members rallied on the steps of City Hall today in support of creating a new congressional district. The district would include parts of the Bronx, Manhattan, and Queens that have a large Latino community. Community leaders say the redistricting will give New York's Latino community a greater voice in Congress.
Especially in the Bronx and Upper Manhattan, where we have seen the Latino population has grown tremendously, exponentially more than in any other part of the city, and yet we have not had a congressional district that reflects that population.
Well, not everyone is in favor of the redistricting proposal. Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr. has said the redistricting would benefit other counties more than the Bronx. The proposal is currently under review. I'm Matt Piper, and this is News 12 The Bronx. Another check of your weather on the 2s is coming up after the break. Plus, we'll tell you about some new Bronx moms whose babies have an incredibly unique distinction. Stick around.